Hey, it's Nikki, and this is the difference between an experienced tour guide and a new one. Tour operators often deliberate over the benefits of hiring an experienced guide versus a newer guide. And I'm talking about years of guiding, right? Not age. The benefits of an experienced guide being obviously their experience, and the benefits of a newer guide being that you can better mold them into the specific style that you're looking for. And in my opinion, honestly, the best teams have a combination of both because both bring different perspectives. I've mentioned before that I think most skills can be taught, even really muscle memory skills that often come with guiding for a while. And so in my mind, there is really only one skill that an experienced guide has that a new guide does not. And that is the ability to, when faced with anything that is unplanned, just figure it out, right? So unexpected traffic, a food stop that is randomly not open, a guest that shows up for a walking tour, unable to walk long distances. All of these have happened to me. While these challenges are more common than you'd think, the experience doesn't come from solving a specific problem and now knowing how to fix it, right? It just comes from solving unanticipated problems, no matter how random they are, on a regular basis. So in this article, I'll offer some tips on how to develop this next level skill in order to quickly up-level from newbie to experienced guide. So, how can tour guides improve their skills to just figure it out? Number one, have backups. Lots of them. The best tour guides will never show when something is wrong. But that being said, tours rarely go as planned. And the best way to prepare for an unexpected shop closer or parade or vendor who has no idea how the tour tasting works, again, I've experienced all of these, just to have a ton of backup plans. As much as possible, come up with a list of backups for each stop on your tour, from actual vendors to places for your groups to sit and rest, to general places to be able to give information that's quiet enough from street noise. Have backup stories or trivia games if you're stuck in traffic and need to stall for time. And most importantly, have backup bathroom options if one proves inaccessible for any reason. In an ideal world, you can cover up the fact that these are backups. But if not, because again, stuff happens, I always tell guides, just sell the heck out of plan B, right? So for example, oh no, the coffee shop is closed early today for some reason. That's never happened. But then you turn around and you tell your guests, but you know what? My favorite coffee shop is actually on our way to the next stop. And honestly, I never get to bring people there. So you know what? Let's go there. Let's go there instead. Just, please don't mention it in your reviews later on. I'm normally not able to take guests here, so I don't want anyone to get jealous that they don't get to go to this cool coffee shop. Whatever you have to say to get them excited about plan B. Number two, know how to get your rhythm back. Each individual story has its own arc and flow, which makes it tough to continue when that's interrupted. It's really the worst. You're in the middle of a story and something happens. You can actually practice ways to jump back into your story. For example, asking a group a question that will lead you back into where you left off, or just kind of skip ahead to a really meaty part of the story to get their attention back. Once you give a tour enough times, you might even be able to predict the types of distractions that could pop up and when during the tour, and use this information to prepare segues back into your story. For example, I always used to pass by this park in New York City that had a special area for dogs. So people were always being distracted by the dogs as we walked by. And I was trying to talk about something that was right next to it. So I've never tried this, but maybe you could do something like, wow, those puppies are so cute. Actually, this is perfect. Okay, imagine that we're 19th century wealthy New Yorkers and this puppy, just walks by, super cute, but they're an Irish immigrant. And we would have done exactly as we just did. We would have stopped what we were doing and just stared, right? But instead of being delighted at the super cute puppy, we would have been angry, right? Look at that cute puppy. How dare they come here? There's so many of them here every day. They're ruining the city, right? There's going to be more cute puppies than us one day. And then you can jump back into your story. That's maybe a stretch, but you can use it, right, if you prepare it. Number 3, practice letting it go. Sometimes there's just no getting your rhythm back, right? Or maybe you always take a specific side street because there's an amazing photo opportunity, but today the street is just closed. You cannot walk down the street. Or, a strange character stands behind you while you're giving a big speech and starts to mock you as you talk to your group, making it completely impossible for them to pay attention to what you're saying. That also happened to me. That's a story for another day. In those cases, you just need to let some things go, right? Obviously, nothing that's integral to the story of your tour or an inclusion that is clearly listed in the marketing or on the website, but some of those fun facts or that fun local shop you like to point out, you just might need to cut it. Just remember, if your guests don't know what they are missing, they won't miss it. It'll be okay, right? And if you're curious about that person in Times Square, I had a group of school children and I was trying to explain the history of Times Square to them. And then this man came up behind me, literally mocking me and pretending he was me to make them laugh. And he was also eating a McDonald's breakfast sandwich and pretending to spit it on me. So there was no getting the group's attention back, right? And he would follow us as I moved around. So I just simply had to stop talking, give it up, and I led my group into the nearest hotel where the man was stopped by the security guard, who I subtly alerted on my way in to not let him in. So instead of a history lesson on Times Square, the students got a lesson on how in New York City, everyone is welcome, which means sometimes you meet some strange characters. But what makes New York City safe is that you're never alone and you can always duck into a shop or hotel or restaurant if you need to ditch someone, right? And to be honest, they probably thought that lesson was way more exciting than the history of Times Square. Okay, finally, number 4, perfect your everything is fine face. No matter what happens, so long as you remain calm and relaxed, often your group will not pick up on the fact that something went wrong. This is obviously easier said than done, but again, you can actually practice this. Yoga, meditation, great tools for guides to be able to flip on the calm, right, when in the face of chaos and internal stress. You can even practice something as simple as breathing in for 4 beats, hold, breathe out for 5 beats, and you practice that daily, as you're brushing your teeth or, getting ready for bed. And that way, when something crazy happens on your tour, you have this muscle memory to be able to force your breath to slow down, which makes you calmer. All right, so just some tips so you can skill up faster.